Hi, I'm Matt Kendrick. I'm from Colorado and I teach at Uiseong Elementary School, Danchon Elementary School, and Doriwan Elementary School.
Hey, I'm Carl Schutz. I'm from Boise, Idaho, and I teach at Uiseong Boys Middle School. So Uiseong, which we like to call the Dirty U, is most famous for its garlic. You'll see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Uiseong is a small rural town of about 14,000 people. And where is it located?
It's about an hour north of Daegu, an hour south of Andong in Gyeongsangbuk-do. So pretty far from the major centers of population.
But a great place to live.
A good place to live.
We really like to explore on the weekends.
Yeah, I would recommend leaving Uiseong on the weekends just because there's not a lot to do here and there's also not a lot of people of about our age.
We like to say there's no one between the ages of 18 and 65.
Yeah, basically when people graduate high school, they go to college at a big city and then they might come back to take care of their parents once they have a family, but no one to go drinking with, pretty much. So in terms of like what it's like to live here, we don't have homestays. You might. My school is supposed to provide you with homestays. We'll see if that happens. I live in a disgusting apartment that no one likes.
I live in a great apartment.
Yeah.
So it's really hit or miss with the apartments.
It really is.
So Uiseong's a small town. There's about one main street, and one great thing about this placement for me is having a really close friend here. So Matt and I meet up together every day and get dinner together every day.
Yep.
And we've learned a lot about each other in the process.
It is a cool, it's a weird thing. Like
It's a
you're going to
weird
be able
place.
to talk about this forever.
Yeah.
Because this town has the strongest accent outside of Jeju in all of Korea. And you'll pick up on all these weird little dialectical things as you learn Korean.
Yeah.
You'll run into your kids all the time.
Yeah.
They will know what you ate for dinner last night if you go out to eat. They'll know who you saw. Like you might see them in really strange places. Like I saw one of the teachers from my school in Itaewon. I was like with a big bunch of Fulbrighters. We were all drinking.
I was there.
Yeah, he's there. And this guy from my school is there with his family. I guess they were buying shoes.
So every Wednesday I teach in a town of 2,000 people called Ampyeong. And I was on my way back from Ampyeong to Uiseong one Wednesday, and this really, really old Korean woman, like 80 years old, and she's like 3 feet tall. She approached me and starts talking in a really thick dialect. I'm trying to carry on a conversation. Yeah. The bus rolls up and this woman with her cane kind of hobbles over to the bus and falls on the bus. And I was really taken aback because I was like, are you okay? I can help you on the bus. Turns out she does every week she's on the bus this way. Fast forward like 2 or 3 weeks and I'm teaching my class in my school. Everything's going great. But halfway through the class, the same woman walks into the door, starts yelling in her dialect at me and at the students, and I have no idea what's going on. I thought it might have been something from the bus, something I said. I didn't know how she found me. It turns out, after she got kicked out by the other teacher, she was there to sell pumpkins.
And we see this woman frequently.
Oh, I see her all.
If you teach at Uiseong Elementary School, it's the largest elementary school in town. Pretty well funded. I would say the kids' English is slightly above average for rural Korea. But if you have the great pleasure at teaching in multiple schools, by which I mean the total punishment of teaching at multiple schools, one of the schools I teach at, Danchon, it's an awful school, and I hated every minute I spent there. The other one, Doriwan, is amazing, and the kids have extremely high English levels.
In terms of my school demographics, I teach an all-boys middle school. It has almost 300 students. For me, I like the boys. I can kind of, I get boys. They're a little wild, but I get them. And teaching is pretty straightforward. The teachers want me to teach from textbook.
Same. It helps if you try to speak Korean.
Yeah, absolutely. Learning Korean is the most important thing I think you can do while you're in Korea, and I think it's maybe a little easier if you're in a small town. Maybe not because the dialect's so thick, and you really need to be proactive about meeting local people.
You can tell like the history a little bit.
Sure.
So the Chinese,
what does Uiseong mean? Yeah.
Uiseong, the Chinese characters for Uiseong in Mandarin are pronounced Yichang, which means righteous city or righteous fortress. And there's been human habitation in this valley since at least the what's called Samhan period. So in the BCs, right? Maybe like 2nd century BC. So there's some interesting tombs that the county government has altered significantly south of here. Go check those out. There is what's called a hyangkyo. Hyangkyo were public Confucian educational centers that existed during the Chosun dynasty between 1392 and 1904. The town was at one point like a major center of Confucian learning, as was all of Gyeongsangbuk-do, because of the influence of Gyeongsang scholars on the Confucian politics of the Joseon court. In terms of modern history, it is part of the railway that the Japanese built into Gyeongsangbuk-do. It has lost a ton of population.
The countryside in general.
Generally, yeah. Carl wrote a great article about that. Be sure to check it out. And there was a battle here during the Korean War. The North Koreans fought the South Korean 6th Division, and the South Korean 6th Division retreated. They lost. But no terrible damage to the town as far as I can tell. A lot of old structures, a surprising number to be honest. And then the post-war history of Uiseong is one of fairly rapid decline. People have left in droves.
Things to do in Uiseong. Well, first of all, coming up to the rooftop apartments and drinking when it's warm out is a really underrated activity. I highly recommend it. It's a great view.
It's gorgeous.
Great view. Check out that view.
Gorgeous.
That's the life.
That's the life. This lush green forest.
This is Uiseong. The dirty you.
The dirty you. I'm going to show you my school. Maybe you can see the orange sort of tower over there. That's my school. All right.
I really enjoy the occasional hike on Gubongsan, the
mountains.
The mountains nearby. I'm also a little bit of a runner, so when I go running, you can run along these really cool roads that are next to the farms. Let's take a turn to favorite restaurants.
Yeah.
I highly recommend Sewon, which means Confucian Academy.
Yeah.
They have
private Confucian Academy.
Okay. They have the best samgyetang, so like chicken stew you'll ever have. It's so good. Park Geun-hye ate there when she was before she was president.
Yeah. They also have this thing called Han-jong-sik, which is like Korean style traditional meal. And basically you pay like a set price. It can be anywhere from 15 per person to 100 per person. Yeah. Which I don't know what you would get with 100, but I want to try it.
Yeah.
And they bring out this massive feast and you just like pig out and it's really good.
One very curious thing about living in the countryside, and particularly Uiseong, is there are a lot of brothels. So you'll see these shops called dabangs, which means meeting place. It's kind of an old-fashioned coffee house. They're all brothels. Stay away. Bowling.
Oh, bowling.
You can go bowling here. There's a great bowling alley. Uiseong is a great place. I've really enjoyed living here, and it's fun to talk about. It's fun to joke about, especially when you go outside of Uiseong and try to explain it to Koreans. Always mention the garlic.
Always mention the garlic.
Always mention the garlic. They know exactly what we're talking about. But for me, it's been really nice to go out on the weekends. Maybe go up to Seoul, go to Busan, wherever. Really kind of let loose on the weekends. Meet with some other Fulbrighters. Meet with some friends in the city, some young people, and then to come back to Uiseong and have this very simple countryside life.
I would say I haven't liked Uiseong as much as Carl because make the most of your time while you're here. I would definitely recommend like practicing Korean as much as you can, making friends with Koreans if you can, and then leaving Uiseong on the weekends. You're gonna have too much time in Uiseong to justify a lot of Uiseong weekends. What?
To Uiseong.
To Uiseong.
To Uiseong. We hayo.
We hayo.